but I can't.
Welcome, welcome,
He a
welcome,
dog.
welcome, welcome, everybody. It's the King and I Life podcast, hosted by your trio, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my peoples in the house.
Son of Soul Legs.
And your girl
Look
Phoenix.
here. Yo, everybody. You know what? Sabrina wrote us an intro and outro, and I keep goddamn forgetting it. Next time.
Wow.
Next time. We're gonna pull it out. But hey, follow us on. I'm gonna let y'all handle that shit.
You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Amazon. Yep, that's the big one. Amazon. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Patreon. You can follow us on YouTube. All your major podcast platforms. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, we are out here in the podcast streets. If you guys have any topics that you want us to discuss, or if you want to be a guest on the show, you can hit us up at KingAndEyeLife369 Again, that's KingAndI369 And again, we appreciate all the love and support we have been receiving, and please continue to do so. Did you have anything, Miss Phoenix?
Nope, you got it all.
Yeah, yeah. That last live was lovely. Seems to be doing great with the numbers and stuff like that. So, big shout out to Mr. Freddie Adams again for joining us on that important topic.
Definitely.
But we want to have to talk about this COVID vaccine, because this seems to be an ass ache for a lot of people in many different ways. So to be vaccinated or not, the debate about getting vaccinated has been waging on for months. Many people were angry about a vaccine being created, but as soon as they became available, the floodgates about its legitimacy arose. We're going to chop it up about our views and how the views in the general public have created a big divide in America. So let's jump into it. Let's get the meat off the bone real quick.
All right, so the first one, let's get into it, is where are people getting their information from?
Phoenix, you want to jump on? Yeah.
Everywhere. It's coming from everywhere. A lot of it is social media. A lot of the information people are getting is from social media, and it's just like anything else that's on social media. It's a lot of opinionated sources out there, and with anything in this world, you can find something to back up your cause that you are speaking on. You can find information to back you up to take the vaccine. You can find information to back you up to not take the vaccine. It's just like anything else in this world. The problem is those that actually haven't done anything but listen to bits and pieces of other stuff, and then they put together these videos that are full of misinformation. And I think that people probably pick up on the misinformation quicker because this vaccine was so quick, and it's scary. We really don't know. Um, so most people are going to lean toward listening to the misinformation that's out here in these social media streets.
I would agree with that. I'm a strong advocate for doing your own research. I know you guys have heard me say that many of times.
Definitely.
So me myself, I did my own research, and the things that I found to be in that vaccination, I can't agree with. So I have people in my family who are in the science community, and they have did their research and still chose to take the vaccination. Um, again, I think that everyone should have their own freedom of choice when it comes down to what they put into their own body. So, again, I love my family, and I support my family on whatever choice they decide they may want to make. Whatever route you want to go, then go that route. But again, for me, I feel like, based off of my own research, it's not for me. So again, I have no hard feelings towards anyone who takes it. I support that. Um, but again, with this whole situation, we have, again, like Phoenix is saying, you got two sides of the coin, right? We have some people who will just go by social media. Then you have other people who actually do a half-hearted type of research, and then you may have some that go all in. Like myself, I'm going all in. I want everything, every little bit of information I can find for myself. That's where I'm at. But you just got to take that time, man. It's, again, there's nothing wrong with taking it at all. If that's your choice, if that's what speaks to your soul or your spirit, then do that. But um, I
Mm-hmm.
just encourage everybody to look behind the veil for those of you who um, are on the fence. Again, either way you go, you're fine.
Yeah, I totally agree as far as the research. The problem is you have people with certain agendas out there, politicians, news media, whatever the case may be. Um, Society has been so gullible when it comes to certain information. Um, and also, you have to understand, well, take into consideration that you have social media bots that are out there from different countries, different companies, different groups, or whatever the case may be, throwing a lot of information out there. So people have been jumping on this quick information social media train. Um, Whatever news organization that they watch on TV or listen to on the radio, they take that word for word. They get snapshots of information. And then you have people who are ignorant to facts, ignorant to honest research, um, throwing out there half baked and false theories out there. And, you know, again, we have a society that's just so gullible on quick information that nobody is really taking into consideration. Hey, there is real information out there. Um, I too say you do what you feel is best for you. Um, but when it comes to where you're getting your information from, a lot of people, as Sun Solek said, they go all in or they don't. But the problem is when people decide to take on this task of doing research on their own, they need to really do research. And that means putting down the laptops, computers, cell phones, and actually go talk to people in that field. These people are accessible. So it just blows my mind that people are relying on social media and the back and forth debates on the news about these topics, because you'll have, for instance, a politician like Ted Cruz who's anti-mask, anti-this, anti-that, but yet you sending your child to a school that requires masks. So it's like when people see stuff like that, they see his stance on stuff, they take that, but then when they find out he's sending this child to a school where masks are required, it's like, okay, so you're not a credible person, but the gullible people are still rolling with his public um, outcry of how he feels about it.
Understandable. It actually all just really ties back to what Sun said and what King is piggybacking off of. It's really your choice, but make your choice based on the best informed information, not half cocked conspiracy theories, and do the research for yourself, because at the end of the
Right.
day, it's for you and your loved ones and your family. So why not be as informed as possible? Now, one of my things is someone that I've grown up with, and I've known forever, is a registered nurse, and she and her family have refused to take it. And I sat down with her, and she told me why, and I completely understood it, and my stance on it was, I am absolutely not going to take this vaccination. Absolutely not. I'm not. Um, but um, a coworker of mine got COVID, and she battled for her life, and she almost didn't make it. And once she recovered, um, she's still not the same person. There was nothing wrong with her when she contracted COVID. Um, she was healthy. She was running marathons. She was actually in the middle of training for a marathon when she caught COVID. Now she can barely walk from her desk to the fax machine without having to stop because she still cannot breathe. I listened to her in her office, and it sounds like she still has COVID. The coughing and the wheezing and the gasping for breath. And I just she asked me to go with her to the doctor, and the doctor literally told her, these are the after effects of COVID. You are what we call a long hauler. There's nothing we can do for you because we really don't know what it is that's causing you to still have these residual effects. So I listened to her tell the doctor about all the pain she was in and how she couldn't sleep. And what he told her is, we can prescribe you pain medicine that she has said over and over doesn't work, but that's all. I heard her say, there are plenty of days that I want
Hmm.
to eat a bullet because this is excruciating. I I left that doctor's office and went to my house, and I sat there and I ticked off for myself what would happen if I caught this. And because I already have underlying health issues, I don't know if I can I don't know if I can beat COVID if I were to contract COVID. So that was my game changer, to actually know someone and be around someone that has fought and is still fighting it. And me knowing that I have a breathing machine already because I can't breathe. I carry an inhaler in my purse. I have an issue that I'm not sure I would be able to I'm not sure I would be able to fight that if I caught it, because at the end of the day, COVID is a real thing out here, and it's killing people. And I still want to be here for whatever this life has for me. And yes, I know that if it's God's plan, it's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. So my thing is, for those that are saying, that I believe, God, and if it's for me to do this, and I'm all for it. For me, what I've always said and what I've always studied is, sometimes the healing is in what's provided for you. Kind of like follow the laws of the land. So if I take this vaccine and I contract COVID and it helps me beat it, cool. If I take this vaccine and I catch COVID and it doesn't help me beat it, then okay, this was just God's will. I, it's a personal choice for me, because I did the research, dove in head over heels into it, looked at all the pros and the cons. And for me, myself, and I guess because my mother is sickly, I, I could not, I could not overlook the fact that she was taking it, and I didn't want her to at the time. I fought my mother. I fought her and I fought her and I fought her. I didn't think that she should take it. My son absolutely refuses. Absolutely refuses. And that's fine. That's his choice. My siblings, um, one has been vaccinated, the other one refuses. It's just it's a personal choice. And when we sit down and we have the conversation, their choices are not based on what they hear in social media. It's what they believe for themselves. And I can't do anything but respect that. I don't like the disrespect and the shaming that's going on with those that are choosing not to and those that are choosing to. I just think it's a personal choice, like religion, and everything else in life. I don't understand the big deal about being in somebody else's business at this point. Protect you and pray for those if that's what you believe. If you believe in that, pray for those who have their own stance on it. But we all need to get along in the end. That's my two wooden nickels.
Um, from what Phoenix was saying, that pretty much goes into this
Right.
question. People, from my opinion, people get so combative because of the poor research they're doing. Um, People feel like it's a conspiracy, mainly minorities, people of color, however you want to label them. They all keep going back to Tuskegee. They go back to how um, whites treated blacks as if we were uh, immune to certain illnesses and pain and stuff like that. You have people out there saying, "Oh, they created it too fast." Um, you have people out there who feel like their rights are being violated or taken away. Um, but feel, what people need to understand is, one, it's not about the individual; it's about everyone that it affects. Two, when people say they made the vaccine too fast, people, I don't know why they don't comprehend or understand that research is done every day. Research has been done every day for thousands of years. If it wasn't for penicillin, the death rate of the average person would be higher than what it is today, especially with the the amount of diseases that are transmitted around the world, especially coming from Europe and stuff like that. Um, you have a lot of, it's just a lot of people being misguided by wherever they get the information, their own ignorance, their own stubbornness. But, you know, at the end of the day, for me, there's no reason to get combative. If you don't want it, then don't take it. Um, if vaccine is being mandated somewhere, then remove yourself from that place, organization, or whatever, to where you don't have to be worried about that. I really don't understand the combativeness, but also you have to take in effect the emotional aspect of it. You know, you got person A over here who's pro-vaccine, you got person over here who's anti-vaccine. The person who's pro-vaccine is looking at the fact that this has affected them, it's affected people around them, it's affecting people in general, and they're like, just get the vaccine so that you can stop the spread, or the spread won't be as deadly. And then you have the anti-vaccine people who are like, well, I'm not taking it, I don't know what's in it. um, I heard this, I heard that, I found out this, I found out that. um, I don't want my rights violated, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the people in the middle who are just up in the air. And it's like, there's really no reason to be combative towards each other. Just understand where everybody's position is. And if you don't rock with their position, you either separate yourself from those people, places, and things, or you, at the very least, if you're going to be around people, make them feel comfortable, because it's not just about the individual.
Now, what I'm going to say is for the people that are saying, hey, they made this vaccine way too fast, it was fast. And a lot of the people that I hear say that, they're like, well, we are still dealing with the cancers and we are still dealing with, these diseases that can't be cured. And they've been around for all of this time. And we don't have a cure for that. So we can automatically come up with a vaccine to, like, there's no vaccine that I can go take for me not to get cancer. Cancer has been here forever, but there's no vaccine to where I don't get this. There's no vaccine for certain sexually transmitted diseases that have been here for eons. So when people are saying those things, that is not far fetched to me. That is very understandable. And as far as minorities saying that they view us and our pain tolerance and what we can handle differently, that is still very much true. Black women die at alarming rates just in simple childbirth because white doctors and others feel like black women's pain tolerance is higher, or that we don't feel pain like everyone else. Those things are very real and very true, so I'm not going to dismiss those views and those concerns, because as a minority woman, I see what happens to my people on a regular basis. Um, so we're not going to mitigate those thoughts. What I'm going to say is I feel like um, how a lot of other people feel. In China, there was no vaccine and they got it under control fairly quickly. Um, it is in third world countries, it's ravaging because they don't have the access to do the things that we have access to do here. I honestly feel like when this first started happening, if everything would have gotten shut down and everybody was still, I don't think we would be here. So cancer is a billion-dollar industry. It's a billion-dollar industry. We're not gonna glaze over it or sugarcoat it. No one is looking for a cure. Everyone is looking for medicine to try to combat cancer. Let's be real, they poison you. So to try and combat COVID, I'm pretty sure they're going to poison us, because that's what we know. We have to poison something in order to kill something. It is what it is. Taking a vaccine of any kind is scary. It's scary. Um, And sometimes no amount of research is going to give you the definitive answers. And combative is on both sides. When people threaten their loved ones, if you don't take it, you got to get out of my house, or you can't come to my house, that's being combative. That is literally trying to force. And I think that's what everybody's problem is. This is getting to a place where it is being forced upon you. Oh, if you don't take it, you can't come to work here. Or if you don't take it, you can't stay here. That is taking away people's choice, period. And that's what I have a problem with. I don't feel like it should be a mandatory thing. I don't feel like people should be saying, if you don't, this is a consequence of if you don't. I don't feel like that. I I, my mom didn't get me completely vaccinated when I was little. Never been sick. Went to school just fine. Never had the chicken pox or any of that. And I was exposed to it, but I didn't get vaccinated for it. So it is it It is what it is. It's a choice, and everybody has to respect everybody else's choice. When y'all go to talking about it's mandated and I gotta do and I gotta, in order for me to do X, Y, and Z, I have to take this, then it gets suspicious
Um,
for anybody.
I
Son?
I feel the pain of each person, meaning on both sides of the coin, right? I understand that some people are very fearful. They don't want to catch it. Um, they've seen other people go through it who have caught it and the results of that. And then there's the other side of the coin where, I have numerous of people who have called me and asked, what are you doing? And I simply tell them, what my stance is. And they're like, well, if I know you ain't doing it, I sure as hell ain't doing, because I know if anybody gonna do their research, you gonna do it. And that's fine, that's good. But I also tell them, man, don't go by what what I do, go by what you feel. Because at the end of the day, if you uh catch it or don't catch it, um
Mm-hmm.
again, that's you as an individual. But I don't want you feeling like, well, son told me not to take it. No, I never told you not to take it. I just said what son is gonna do. So, I mean, I have friends who are really hardcore researchers like myself. Like they really go in. Um, and there's some people who are very passionate about this subject. They um, are willing to fight if it comes down to it. And I'm like, I get that. I feel your pain, but just because that's the way you feel, that don't mean everybody around you is gonna feel the same way. You have to defend yourself true enough if someone attacks you, but you don't have to go out of your way
Right.
to initiate shit. Meaning, like when people approach you about a mask, if you wearing your mask, just keep it moving. But if you don't have your mask on and they approach you, would you mind putting on your mask or whatever? Just put on your mask. Um, I haven't had anyone that say they actually got into a physical altercation behind it, but there were some tense moments, some words exchanged. But again, I just think that people have to respect other people's wishes, whether you want to take it or you have taken it or you not gonna take it, or whatever case may be. Just respect other people's
Mm-hmm.
wishes. Wear your mask if you are out and near people, and there are a lot of people say the mask don't even work, and some people say, well, I still feel more comfortable with it even if it don't work, and there are some people say it do work. So I mean, you have a vast
Mm-hmm.
amount of people with different opinions, and again, you have to do what's best to protect you. So um again, like I said, that when I'm out amongst people, I wear a mask.
Bottom
And
line,
again,
plain and
that's not
simple.
necessary to say I think I'm gonna catch anything, but I have a family. I have to
Mm-hmm.
protect my family the best way I know how. And I'm assuming the people out there in society have families too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to give them anything, and I'm not trying to catch anything from them. But when I'm out in the wide open by myself, I'm not finna wear this mask. It's just plain and simple. If I'm
That
riding in
part.
my vehicle by myself, I'm not wearing a mask. And I see some people still with a mask on, like, who the hell you gonna give it to? You by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the hell is gonna give it
Yes,
to you? You
that
are
part
in
right there.
your vehicle by yourself.
So, so yes, but and I think it's simply they forget that it's on. And I,
Mm.
because I look at people in traffic, I'll be like, weirdo, you have a mask on by yourself? You scared of you? You scared of you? It's like, what is going on over there? But I asked someone and they said, I forgot I even had the thing on.
Heck no.
I was like, it's crazy that we are getting so used to having stuff. I can't breathe. I can't wait to get that mask off. I cannot breathe. Um, So it's crazy because we are getting, as a society, so used to having it on our face, we don't even realize that we look like idiots driving around in our car by ourselves with a mask on.
Just to
Like,
wrap
what
it
the,
up, man, I don't feel
this
like
is craziness.
violence or being combative, is necessary to answer. Of course, you're free to voice your opinion and tell people what you feel comfortable with, and just keep it moving. But to actually engage in verbal combat and physical combat, you're not going to change anyone's
That's it.
mind who's dead set on their disposition. Just respect it and keep it moving.
Yes, yes, yes. That is part one of this COVID vaccination conversation. I did want to piggyback on,
Indeed.
some of the things that y'all were saying, but I will wait until we jump back in it. It is the King and I Life podcast, and we shall return.